Hi, Laura Lee. So this is order 5532 for a general reading. Thank you so much for your patience. And I hope you got your other items okay. Thank you again for everything. You will see some incense smoke, just as a heads up. I would recommend to wash this by yourself first, and then if you wish to have somebody else watch it or share it, then you're more than welcome to. This is yours. So I would recommend to, again, just review it. You can fast forward it, you can rewind it, whatever you would like to do, but you can come back to it as many times as you want. It's totally up to you how many times you would like to watch it and when you'd like to watch it or rewatch it. I have my computer here. That's where I'm getting your energy from. And if you have any questions or anything, please let me know. Also, let me know how it resonates with you to ensure that I got the correct energy. But yes, so how my cards tend to work for me is as they're coming out, it's like past, present, and future, but the future is not set in stone. So as soon as you start making decisions, then things may change, just as a heads up. I will pause in between shuffling of decks, just as a heads up. But let's see. What comes out? And I do apologize for how long it has taken me to do this. And thank you for trusting me with this, by the way. There's something else that needs to come out. There we go. All right. So the first card kind of sets the tone of the reading as well. And yours is Boon. So Boon is about new opportunities. It's also about growth, and it's also about possible financial gain. So I feel like you always kind of look towards the future, and you're kind of like, well, if this happens, then this is going to happen, then this is going to happen, then this is going to happen. But you always try and see the positive in things, not necessarily the negative. Everybody has a few like negative thoughts now and then, but you always try and see the brighter side of things compared to like the worst case scenario kind of deal. So this again is about like new opportunities are always presenting themselves too. And you might be kind of thinking, should I do it? Should I not do it? Those sorts of things. Community came out sideways. So when it comes out sideways like this, it's like it's in reverse, but it's like past, present, and future. You tend to stick to yourself. And you don't really lean on others for advice. You tend to be like a lone wolf kind of deal. That's how I'm viewing this. Because notice all the hands on the same log. This is about like, again, it could be about like helping others. Again, it's about like, it could be about charity, donations, and those sorts of things. But I feel like it's like, if somebody comes to you for advice, great. But you keep it all bottled up. You don't express yourself to others because you don't want to burden other individuals. So you gotta kind of learn to accept help when help is needed or required. Reaching out to others when you need it kind of deal, okay? Growth came out next. So growth is about like healing. It's about peace. It's about lessons being learned. It's about turning over a new leaf kind of deal, okay? So you have been growing as an individual, and I think that you doing research and things on certain subjects has really benefited you in your growing phase. But again, if you need help, you need to reach out to the correct individuals, okay? So balance is huge for you. You need to have some more balance in your life. So you're very mindful of what's going on, and you gotta, again, have that solid foundation in order to build upon that foundation. So balancing act is huge. Value came out next. Value is about like your priorities. It's about self-worth. It's about appreciation. It's about knowing your value and knowing what you bring to the table. So I feel like sometimes you feel very undervalued, possibly in your job or workplace, and they don't see what you all do for them. So I feel like you gotta kind of step out of your shell a little bit and know your worth and your value and what you bring to the table. Okay, I think you know in the back of your mind and subconsciously what you do to the like what you do bring, but they don't value it. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of a touchy subject, I feel like, too. Water came out next. So notice how it's very calm, it's very soothing. Water can represent your water signs and zodiac, so like Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. You might have a couple water placements, but you're very intuitive. I feel like you're very intuitive. Pluto is in retrograde right now. Maybe that's why I haven't done this reading for a while, but Pluto just literally went into retrograde. Pluto is ruled by water, and water signs tend to have really good intuition, and I feel like you do have water placements in your chart, or somebody around you has water placements. I think it's you though, and you tend to, again, you might know things before they even happen or have that like little instinct, and that's why, again, with the whole new opportunities and things, you don't get too worked up over some things, is because you know that it's gonna kind of work out in the end, and if it doesn't, then you know how to solve it. Now, the things that came out at the end, Tension and Empress. So there is going to be a little bit of a tension coming up. I don't know what it's regarding, but I have a feeling that it's going to involve another female because this card came out. So this tension is about, like, just, again, know who you are and set those healthy boundaries. And whoever this female is, they are close to you, but they kind of are a little shady just because of how I view this. But they do come across kind of maybe a little bit arrogant. I think it might be a work colleague. I could be wrong though. But then the next card is Beginnings, One Way. It's like green light, those sorts of things. So it's like a new chapter. Once this is kind of resolved, then you're going to have like that fresh start, clean slate, new chapter kind of feeling going on. And it's going to be feeling lighter. The bottom of the deck is, again, kind of futuristic, but research. Just make sure that you are continuing your research, reviewing all the facts. You might need more info before you kind of tackle this a little bit. And I think that this, again, might spark because of the whole value thing with your job. So again, just be cautious of that, but make sure that you kind of think before you act or speak. And just, again, do your research, do your due diligence of like reviewing all the facts, but needing a little bit more info before you kind of just go for it kind of deal. So let me grab another deck, one sec. All right, for this one, I grabbed my Energy Oracle deck, and the first one is all tied up. So this is, again, kind of like a crossroads kind of deal going on. This is you. I don't know if the ties are from you or if they're from another individual, but you feel tied to something and that you can't break free of. In order for you to break free of this and kind of move in the correct direction and not feel stagnant anymore, you have to make the first move to try and break the bonds. Even though, like, again, these are of your own making, I feel like, and you've been stuck for a while. It's almost like you're on autopilot. You're like just kind of day in, day out, kind of the same idea, because you're feeling stuck. You're feeling stagnant. You're kind of just at that crossroad, and not sure what direction to go in. This is relating back to the first deck. So we got woman holding a coin, and then we have hostilities. They came out pretty much back to back. The woman with the coin is the same individual that had the feminine card from last one. So this is representing them again, and there's a few like little hostilities that are going to be going on too. So this is reiterating the first deck. Whether this is verbal, whether it is kind of just a mental game, I don't know. But just have your guard up with this, and again, make sure that you kind of act appropriately towards this, because I think that if you blow it out of proportion, or if you kind of say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing, this person's going to take advantage of it. So just be cautious of that. trust your voice, trust yourself, because this one here is the 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel, which is your throat chakra. So speak your truth, but again, just make sure that you don't hold it in reserve, but you need to reach out to the correct individuals, but you need to speak out. Right now, you're kind of just holding back, I feel like, but he's there to kind of help guide you if you want to call to him to help. Then we have Journey. Journey is about, again, kind of crossways. There's multiple different directions that you can go in, but it's up to you to find which direction you need to go to. I think that you already know what you need to do. It's just a matter of like actually pursuing it and going for it because of this here. Notice how there's like the light at the end of the tunnel kind of deal. That's where you're at. Bring the sun out, man. Okay. So the sun in tarot is like happiness, joy, success, those sorts of things. But again, the sun is a good card to have because it's kind of like new beginnings, reawakening, all those sorts of things. But at the same time, the sun could burn you. So don't stay in the shade of the sun, but at the same time, don't let it burn you. You know what I mean? So we got some anxiety going on. I think you're having trouble sleeping too. Or you don't feel rested when you get up from sleeping. So there's some anxiety happening as well. There might be some depression going on. So this is taking a toll on you. The bottom of the deck is yin and yang. So again, balance aspect. Just make sure that you are balancing everything. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself, because I feel like you're not really doing a whole lot of self-care because again, you're kind of in robotic mode. You're just kind of day in, day out. This is my life now kind of deal. So just make sure that you're bringing that balance back and knowing where you stand with everybody and having those healthy boundaries. I need one more deck. One sec. All right. So I feel like you're like an empath too. I think that's why you kind of stick to yourself. Okay, so anyway, in this one we got Hermit Mode, and then we have Happy Ending that came out together. So again, this is reiterating kind of the lone wolf kind of deal going on. So it could be about like soul searching and inner reflection, meditation, those sorts of things. But with the Happy Ending, it's about completion, abundance, achieving those goals. So I feel like you don't really like being around people. Like I think it's an empath thing. I think that you feel other energies and you just, you want to stick to what you know. And it's icky. Like you don't like being around other people, you know? Like I get it. I totally understand. I'm getting goosebumps, by the way. So anyway, that come up a couple times. It's reiterating itself. That's why I do a few decks to see if it's the same stuff coming out. And then we have abandonment in reverse. So I feel like the whole left behind, confused, walking away, feeling unworthy, this whole abandonment thing is possibly due to some trauma that you had from in the past, and you're kind of harboring onto it and you're kind of carrying it forward. So I think you need to do a little bit more healing too when the time is right, because this is kind of like past energy because it's still the beginning of this stack, but you're still really clinging on to it because it's in reverse. The Truth Revealed is again about like lies being exposed, the missing puzzle piece, darkness brought to light. Maybe something that I've said in this reading is kind of had that aha click moment, which tends to happen. So I think that this is in relation to some of this because I'm recording it right now, but you are going to be seeing it a little bit later. This is energy that I'm reading as of right now, by the way. Okay. Something you need to let go of. Okay. You need to release it. You need to just kind of say bye-bye, like make a wish on a dandelion kind of deal. It's about like your lessons being learned, put it in the past so that you can leave it in the past. It's not saying forget, but it's also saying don't stay there, okay? Because keep looking forward, like you have been doing. Because again, I feel like you're more often than not a really happy person, but the whole clingy thing, you don't like other people. Like you do, but you don't. You know what? I hope this is coming across the way I want it to. It's kind of confusing, but I totally get it. I think you're an empath, okay? So when you are around other people's energies or other objects that hold energy, because object can hold energy, then you react to it. And you need to learn how to bubble. So basically what the bubble method is when you are out in a space that you are not familiar with, you throw up an energy bubble around you so that energies that are outside that bubble do not affect you, okay? So I feel like this is going to really help. You need to perfect the bubble. It's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take energy to create the bubble, but I feel like once you have it down pat, then you can kind of shrink the bubble a little bit. Visualize literally a bubble of energy around you when you are out and about. And the first few times you're going to have to be conscious of it and kind of just keep thinking, bubble around me, bubble around me, bubble around me, so that you get used to it, and then shrink that bubble once you get used to doing it. And then once you go out in public or out in other areas, you will automatically throw up that shield, okay? And you will automatically let it down when you are in a comfortable situation. So when you are around people that you're familiar with, like friends, family, those sorts of things, or when you are in your own home, okay? Now, attraction came out, and then shortly after was sun. So the attraction is about, there's some sort of temptation going on. I don't know if it's with an individual, but I think it's regarding some sort of again, that whole crossroads, the pathway, you know where you want to get to. I think there's some sort of tempting offer that might be coming up, or that's on the table. And the sun again came out again with the other cards. So happiness, joy, content, dreams coming true, those sorts of things. So look into it again, use your judgment, go with your gut, because you have a strong intuition. You don't really trust it very well, though. You need to develop that a little bit better. And then we have soul. So soul is about trusting in the flow, accepting, forgiving. It's about your true self. So coming into your own. I feel like you've kind of kept a lot of things to yourself. Again, it's kind of like the lone wolf kind of thing. You keep things bottled up, and you don't want to tell other individuals about certain things because it makes you feel safer, which I get as well, okay? But I think that you have to tell the right individuals when the time comes, if it's the right time to tell somebody about some of those things that you've been bottling up about. I don't know if it's regarding witchy stuff, or if it's regarding feelings, or if it's regarding both. I have a feeling it's about both. In the past. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just saying what's coming to me, all right? So fast energy, something is going to be coming very quickly in the future. So this fast energy is about taking that chance, going for it, that action and that decision, but making sure that you've thought through all the steps before just jumping in, okay? Crossroads came out like this at the end. So when it's like this, it's past, present, and future. What I've been saying this whole reading, you're at a crossroads. So it's a difficult choice. You're at that stalemate. And which path do I take? You're gonna still have this if you don't make a decision to get out of this robotic state, okay? So only you can do that for yourself. And your conscious and your subconscious have to be on the same level in order for you to get past this, okay? The bottom of this deck is Make a Wish. So this is about your dreams coming true, gifts from the universe, wishes being fulfilled, going for something that you want to do and actually jumping in and starting it. You have to start it in order for it to have that momentum, okay? You can think about it all you want, but if you don't put the actions to the words or what the thoughts, it ain't gonna happen. And I think that's why you're stuck. Okay, so you gotta take that first little step in order for you to get that unsticking, that unblocking going on. So I'm hoping this makes sense. I'm hoping that it resonates, because I was kind of all over the place, but I feel like you have been kind of all over the place too. Oh, I just split the deck and just let it go. And then it's intuition. Trust that intuition. It's that little gut feeling that shouldn't bring anxiety, fear. It shouldn't trigger you, okay? And letting that go of whatever you're hanging on to, again with the dandelion card too, moving on, releasing, forgiving yourself for something that happened in the past that you're harboring on to. You're very hard on yourself. So be kinder to yourself, okay? But thank you so much for trusting me. Thank you so much for all your support, and let me know how this resonates with you. Take care of yourself, okay? See ya.